Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. I put over. I put in a Rolling Stones mug in here. You see that? You can. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, all right. So all I need to do now is disconnect the whatchamacallit, the house phone. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay. All right. Listen. Thanks ever so much, and I'll be on the air at 6:30. Cheers. Thanks. Thanks, man. Thank you very much.
Nutcracker Suite from Tchaikovsky with the eighth movement, the waltz suite from the Nutcracker Suite by Tchaikovsky, which is the eighth movement from that suite. The RTE National Symphony Orchestra, and that recorded back a little bit when Alexandra Anisimov was taking us just past 6.
Good evening all, and welcome. First of all, thanking Culture Ireland for this opportunity and experience for us all. Well, for me anyway, this is a new one. But I had a phone call there from a friend of mine in Abu Dhabi earlier on, one Miss O'Brien, and she was looking for a reel that I hadn't on my list at all, but I'm going to put it up now anyway and play it now for you. And so that's Noreen O'Brien in Abu Dhabi and Alice O'Brien in Turnopmoor. You have to keep the Turnopmoor people happy, and that's for certain. Okay, there's my set list. Okay, so I'm going to start with that, and then I'll go into the set that I had planned in the first place. Okay, now I'm going to continue with a couple of hornpipes that I learned from the great fiddle player from County Sligo, the great Michael Coleman. He played these two hornpipes as one hornpipe, but I like to play them as a pair, and known as McDermott's hornpipes. I think he wrote these tunes when he was in New York. He suffered greatly from homesickness, I think. His music was very sad. He was the only person that could play a tune in a major key, as I keep saying, and could make it sound sad. But anyway, I won't make these sound too sad, hopefully, but they're McDermott's hornpipes, and named after a dear friend that he left behind in the County Sligo that he'd never see again. So, them's were the days. That's McDermott's for you. I'm going to play a couple of jigs now. The first tune, but these two jigs. The first one I learned from the great Father Charlie Cohen, who was a parish priest in Staten Island back in the day when we went out there first. We met the great Charlie Cohen. The tune that which was associated with Charlie Cohen, and it's called The Green Fields of Woodford, and it's a beautiful jig, I think, and a beautiful title. I'm going to follow it with the jig that Malachy Burke and Brian and myself did on, which is a tribute to Paddy Killorn. That's one of the tunes that Paddy Killorn wrote. Can't for the life of me think of the name, but anyway, so long as I remember the tune, we'll be doing okay. But so Paddy Killorn's is the second jig, and The Green Fields of Woodford is the first one. That doesn't taste right, but anyway. Okay. Nice pair of jigs there, I think. The beautiful tunes anyhow, whatever about the playing. Anyway, I was switching chairs here earlier on this evening, right? And I thought, I better put a nice comfortable chair that doesn't have a backrest on it. So anyway, I moved a chair that's been sitting in the sun we're having for the last God knows what number of weeks. And when I moved the chair over here, the two legs went straight out from under it. So it's just as well I didn't try it just before going on this. I'd have made a right show of myself. Broke. I'm going to continue with a couple of tunes. Well, one in particular, very much associated with Tommy Peoples, the great Tommy Peoples. He might have written it in actual fact, but I met Tommy Peoples, I don't know, I would say about 16 or 17 years of age at the time, and he was an extraordinary musician, and he played in E flat. He was the first and only fiddle player that I ever heard at that time playing in E flat, and so I've been playing in E flat ever since. And he did a lovely record for Shanachie Records, and there's a picture of a close-up of Tommy in the front of it, and he looks like Elvis Presley playing the fiddle. So he was extraordinarily good looking as well as everything else, but what a player, what a gentleman, and this tune is very much associated with him. I'd like to remember Tommy today as well. Tommy Peoples. I'm going to play a few jigs for you now. The first one's called Strike the Gay Harp. It's a lovely old tune. And I'm going to play a tune afterwards that I learned from a sister of PJ Conlon. I think Rose Murphy was her name. And she played the melodeon as well, like PJ. And this is a tune, or a lovely version of this jig that she played and recorded on some L78 somewhere along the way. And that's the second jig, and then ironically enough the third jig is called the Rose and the Heather. So three nice jigs: Strike the Gay Harp, call it Rose Murphy's, and then the Rose and the Heather. Okay, so, you know, I have the phone kind of propped up here on one of these cookery book stands, you know, and there's a lovely picture of a Jamie Oliver roast lamb. I shouldn't have used this because I'm getting a mouth-watering experience here looking at it. But anyway, trying to concentrate on the job at hand. So anyway, which reminds me, I have nothing for dinner. Oh, I have. What am I talking about? Anyway, so I'm going to continue now with a reel that I recorded with Alec there, the late Alec Finn, about 6 months before he passed away last November, 12 months. And it was wonderful. We got back together after too many years apart, and so it was wonderful, as I say, to get back together. We went up to the Gratham together in Belfast. We did the Late Show together, and as I say, it was such a relief that was all air was cleared, and we just went back to where we left off, basically about 14 years earlier, just giving out and breaking our sides laughing at this, that, and the other, and enjoying the music. So I want to play a reel that I recorded with Alec on the album. And if anybody's interested in that album, we can talk about that later. But anyway, so I have it and I can post it out to people if they so desire. But it's a reel called Reevy's Reel. This was a favourite reel of Alex. It was a favourite reel of Mickey Finn, the great Roscommon fiddle player who spent most of his life in Galway, well, his later years in Galway. Quite a character. And Sarah Shallow. So Sarah Shallow and Mickey Finn were an item for years, and we would often meet in, you know, in the Keys or the Cellar or whatever, different places in Galway, and have a few tunes. But there was one reel that it was Mickey's favourite, it was Sarah's favourite, and it was Alec's favourite. And Alec and I recorded it. It's a tune called Reevy's. And Ed Reevy was a great fiddle player from Ireland, of course, and lived most of his life in Philadelphia. So Reevy's Reel for Alec, Sarah, and Mickey Finn. Sounds even better if it's in tune, you know. So they keep telling me, but anyway. TV's real. Okay, I'm going to continue now with, oh yeah, have you now? Thirsty work this, you know. Anyway, and that's not working. Well, it's helping, but it's not. In any case, I'm going to play a tune now. I think it was the first hornpipe that we ever recorded with Dana, and Charlie Piggott was actually playing, the great Charlie Piggott from Cove, County Cork, played this on the 10-key melodeon, and beautiful it was. And I'm going to play it now, and I'm going to play then, I have a couple of other tunes lined up after that now. The Lady on the Island, which I also recorded with Alec there about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Lady on the Island, and maybe in memory of Liam O'Flynn, the great late Liam O'Flynn, and being as we're not going to Milltown this year, but sure we might go anyway. We'll see, hopefully. But it's a reel that's synonymous with Milltown Malbay, if you ask me, and I always associate the ladies' pantalettes with Milltown Malbay, and particularly Liam O'Flynn's playing of it. So the Glen Bay hornpipe, followed by the Lady on the Island, and what do you call it? Yeah, that one, ladies' pantalettes. The ladies' pantalettes. Here we go. Now so that's the ladies' pantalets and the few before it. So I was going to play a couple of, well, I'd like to dedicate a couple of pieces to a couple of friends of mine who are listening in. I already mentioned the O'Briens and Abu Dhabi and Turlockmore. And then I have the Tim and Tess Sheedy down in Templemore and County Tipperary, and Mary Sheedy in Kilkenny. Noreen is out in Carn and my sister, and God only knows who else is looking in. But anyway, there's lots of messages coming in here, so I don't have a secretary or minder here to go through all this stuff, but I'll try and reply to people when I get a chance. And thanks for all the wonderful messages, I'm sure. So what am I going to do next? There's a lovely hornpipe there that I learned from the late great Dan Collins, who started Chanakey Records in New York, where Alec and I did our first album together 39 years ago, if you please. And so I'd like to play a tune that I learned from Dan, and it's a fairly recent tune. Johnny McCarthy and Pat Crowley from Cork wrote this lovely hornpipe, and it's called the Harp and Shamrock. And I think it's a gorgeous tune, and you can play it in 2 or 3 different keys. So I might chance that for the crack. D first. So D, G and A. Well, those couple of versions of the Harp and Shamrock. I was going to play then, there's another old set dance that I wrote when I was in Tommy McCarthy's pub in the Burn. I'm going to call it the Burn Barn Dance at this stage of the game. And it's on an album called Full Score, which I did with Carl Hessian and Derek Hickey and Tim Eady and Rick Epping, the great harmonica player, the great blues blower from originally from Virginia. Well, he's from California actually. Now living in Sligo. Are you confused yet? Anyway, so Rick reckons that the second tune, which is called Paul Halfpenny, he reckons that it's very closely related to Please Baby Don't Go Down to New Orleans, You Know I Love You So. So he reckons it's a blues song, and of course he does a lovely version of this on the harmonica, so he does. And so I'd like to say hello to Rick and Joan up there in Sligo, in Ballymote to be exact. Okay. Good harmonica player would be nice on that, wouldn't it? Anyway, so I'm going to play a tune now called, it's a classical tune, we were calling it the Rambles of Bach there for a while, but anyway, it's Badineri is the correct pronunciation. Gavin Murphy, the wonderful conductor, told us that when we were doing a show at the concert hall there with Carl Hession and Paddy Keenan and Dermot Byrne there last August. Was it August? 12 months? Was it last August? Was it last? Yeah, it was last August. And a great night it was. So this is a tune called Badineri or Badineri, and I'm going to stick it onto a reel called The Piper's Despair, because they're kind of similar, and one of them is as daft as the other. Paddy, I didn't mean you now. you very much indeed. Okay, so I'm going to finish with the tune that got me this kind of a reputation with this Guinness Book of Records thing, which was done for a complete kind of a commercial advertising gimmick really at the time. But anyway, I'd like to play that for you, but I'm going to play a nice hornpipe before called the Wonder Hornpipe. And please share all this on all your accounts and stuff like that, and keep looking in with Culture Ireland, who have been more than generous in this occasion and doing lots of great things for the culture of the country. And hopefully it's a great sign of the times of the future. And so thinking positively, all of us, is the way to go. And as my friend Derek Saunders says, it's not the mountains behind you now you need to concern yourself about, it's the ones in front of you. It's Pilot's expression. So I'm not having any worries about the future. But anyway, well, let's focus on the future and the good times in the future. And I'm going to play this hornpipe called the Wonder Hornpipe. This is for Derek and Tara, and I'll finish with that, and then the Fox Hunter's Reel. Not too fast. Fast enough, but not too fast. Anyway, thanks for being here, and thanks again to Culture Ireland, and till we meet again. And when this is all over, by God, we'll have some party and some session in Coley's maybe. Okay. Thanks very much. Good luck now, and we'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when. Time to have another drop of this. See what's in it. Bye now.